Yo, 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 yo. What is up? What is up? What is up? It's your boy Wildcard Mar in the building. And of course, you see my face, you see my partner's face. That's the man with the grand master plan for this I.O.W network. That's my guy, Detroit Mel.
What up, though? What up, though?
What up, though, big bro? How you doing, man? How's everything, man?
Hey, everything, man.
Hey, heard that. And y'all know the deal. Detroit Mel, check him out on the No Name Podcast. See that under his name for all you Detroit Lions fans. Of course, Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar, capital KC Wildcard Mar on Twitter. That's where you can chop it up with me personally. Hey, I can find all of I.O.W Sports content on Twitter, I.O.W Sports 1. Follow us there. You can follow us as well on Instagram and Facebook, I.O.W Sports Network. We also have the Facebook I.O.W Sports Facebook group where you can chop it up and drop your own takes and say what you got to say. Right. And then, most importantly, I.O.W Sports Network, the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word. What we got going on? Hey, because we got a lot of good stuff going on, man. And hey, you see that exclusive hat that Detroit Mail is rocking? You want one? Send $30 to the Cash App, $ I.O.W Sports Network. $30. Give us a physical address, and Detroit Mail will send off that very exclusive I.O.W Sports cap to your front door. It's only 3 people in the world. Only 3 people in the world got that. There's one right there. I have one. Jersey Boy MJ got one. Hey, that's how exclusive it is. So that's the only way you can cop it. But
Vin got one too.
Oh, Vin got one. Okay, now it's 4. Well, damn. 4 people. Still exclusive. Shout out to Vin, man. I ain't seen Vin in a minute, man. I hope Vin's doing well. I hope Tiff is doing well. I hope they doing their thing out there in the
Detroit.
That's when niggas get real bougie. Detroit. I ain't from Detroit. I'm from Detroit.
Detroit, nigga.
Detroit. That's when cats be like, nah, I ain't at Target. I'm at Target.
You know I eat my Coney dog, my pinky up.
with your better maid.
I eat my Coney dog.
You got you eating your Coney dog. And you got your better maid. And y'all out. Yeah. Y'all don't know about Better Made. Get with it. Get with the program, man.
Yeah, Coney dog fake on some Better Made.
Hey, for real. And at the right time, joining us from PREZ Sports, the one and only AR. Good to see you, my brother. How's everything?
And you know a sidebar though. You know, I didn't know that ginger ale was ginger ale until I got older. Because since Vernors is made in Michigan, we call all ginger ale Vernors.
Oh,
so, go to the store. You say go to the store, give me a Vernors. We didn't even say ginger ale.
Got you. So you pretty much.
I called everything ginger ale.
Everything ginger ale. You didn't know ginger ale was a separate type of.
They got other ginger ale.
hey, well, Vernors is a Detroit thing. I'm more of a Canadian dry kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'll settle with Seagrams if there's no more Canada dry. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm a Canada dry guy. It's all good. But look, man, glad to see AR made it today. And make sure. Internet. Yeah, and make sure we pop in with AR and PREZ Sports. Right. Check in with him Tuesdays. Me and him do a good hour and a half, 2 hours on his show on Tuesday. So make sure y'all tap in with us tomorrow. Real quick, AR, man, drop your socials where everybody can find you at, my guy.
Yes, sir. You guys can find me at PR3Z Sports on YouTube and on TikTok for all the sports content I do. And then Anthony R3204 on Instagram.
Yeah, you heard it here first. So make sure you tap in with all of AR's content. But let's get down to business because I gotta show some love. And for those who follow a lot of the content that I personally do or 613 Faith Productions does, shout out to them. I did a great episode on Wild Stats this past weekend on the Lady Sooners of Oklahoma, the softball team. And I think it's time for us to have that conversation, fellas. I mean, we need to start, I know we've had dominant franchises or sports teams or, programs in women's college sports, Pat Summitt with the Tennessee Volunteers. Obviously, Gina Auriemma is still going strong with the UConn Lady Huskies. I think we need to start putting Patty Gasso and the Lady Sooners up there in that conversation, because I want everybody to check this out. And I know I'm repeating a lot of information that is on the mini pod Wild Stats, so check that out on 613 Freight Productions. But check this out. So since 2000, these ladies have been doing remarkable things. They have won seven national championships: 2000, 2013, 2016, 2017, 2020-21, 2020-22, 2020-23. That just happened. So that's 7 championships in the last 23 years, and they've appeared in 16 Women College World Series since 2000. So 23 Women's College World Series since 2000, and they've been in 16 of them. All right. Now, what makes this run remarkable, they've just finished a three-peat. Mm-hmm. They finished this year at a 61-1 record. Let me repeat that, 61-1 record. Near perfection. Not only did they did that, they finished this three-peat this year on a 53-game consecutive win streak, which is a NCAA record previously held by Arizona Wildcats, I believe at 47 or 48, somewhere around there.
Matt, that was your cue.
So. Yeah, that was your cue, Matt. But they haven't lost since February to Baylor. And now check this out. So they have a 61-1 record, right, overall. Mm-hmm. So there's 19-0 at home. Can't beat them at home. They have a 14-1 record on the road. Well, damn, you can't beat them on the road. So we damn sure got to beat their ass on neutral sites. Nope, you can't do that. They're 28-0 in neutral sites. Undefeated. Let's put some numbers onto this. Batting average for the Lady Sooners.
Sincere.
366. Shout out to Sincere. What's up, Sincere? 366 batting average. They're only allowing 162 batting average to their opponents. The Lady Sooners are scoring 501 runs all season. They've only allowed 59. So in translation, per game, they're averaging 8 runs per game.
Right.
They're only allowing run per game average. So all these numbers I just thrown out, championships that they won in the last 23 years, Women's College World Series appearances in the last 23 years, dominating season to top off a three-peat. And we got to remember, how many three-peats have we seen in our lifetime? Haven't seen a lot of three-peats in our life across all sports.
Right.
You saw the Bulls do it twice. You saw the Lakers do it. I believe we saw the Yankees do it in baseball.
I believe so, I'm not mistaken.
For the most part, you're not seeing a lot of three-peats. So I ask you, fellas, why are we not talking about Patty Gasso and the Lady Sooners of Oklahoma in softball as one of those dynastic franchises, programs that we talk about, like the Nick Sabans in the Alabama, the Patriots in Belichick? Why are we not having that conversation about this program?
I mean, you got to, man. If you look at compared to even other programs or other sports, you got UCLA 88 straight games. They have 70-74.
Yeah.
You got Gino over there with UConn. I think that they for 3 straight years from 14 to 2017, they won 111 games. And you look at, and I think the only person baseball, I think Florida Atlantic did 38 games. The men's baseball team won 38 games. So you're looking at what the softball team did. They also have Jocelyn I.O.W, who is the home run queen, who had more home runs in softball than anybody in history.
And I didn't even bring that up.
So you have to give them props, man, for what they've done. I mean, when you look at women's softball and you turn on SportsCenter and all that stuff, that's all they talk about, Oklahoma. You think nobody else is playing but them. You know what I'm saying? Because all you hear about is the women's softball team from Oklahoma. So I think it has got to go out to Patty Gasso over there and what they've done. She's built a dominant program, man.
Dominant.
And I think it stacks up against any program you want to put up against.
Any program. And this is how dominant they are. So they're about to lose one of their ace pitchers. All right? They're about to lose one of them. She's going to go back to matter of fact, she's going back to Nebraska. Let me pull her up real quick. Ball. Let me get her full name. Jordy Ball. Fantastic player. And she's about to leave the program. But the crazy thing is that they've done so well. Patty Gasso and her coaching staff have done so well building that program and not only taking in recruits, transfer portal players, that I don't think it makes a difference. Now, let me ask you this. AR. So at one point, do you say, like Jordy Ball, so she's leaving Oklahoma to go to Nebraska. She's leaving Dynasty to probably even, help a program possibly be better. But, what would cause you to leave a big amount of success, or what reasons would you have to leave a program like that? Do you think this is a smart move for her?
Well, there could be different reasons why people, want to leave. We kind of do see it a lot in sports where a team may win a championship. You could look at it this year with Juju Smith, and your Chiefs. You win the Super Bowl. It's the first one of your career. Now he's already over at the Patriots, and the Patriots aren't even going to make the playoffs. So I think with her, it may be, she's really got the taste of the success. And maybe it's like, what? This has been too easy for us. We don't lose a damn game every year. And, I want to have a little bit of a challenge. I'm the ace of this team who's won 3 straight. And I want to go to Nebraska and see what I can do over there with those girls and see if they can build something over there. The beauty of sports is that sometimes it takes somebody with, I don't know how many years eligibility she has left. Maybe she has 1 or 2 years left. And she's going over there and she's going to start a new culture over there, hold that down at the A spot and see what Nebraska can do. Rosters and people, and that's the beauty of the transfer portal. I know it's, a lot of people hate on it for football, and I do as well, because I'm a football player. Yeah, I think the transfer portal for COVID was ridiculous. But now that we're kind of getting out of that, 23-year-olds with 2 years left eligibility, and it's kind of getting back to normal, when you see some of these very good players go from these top schools and then move over to schools who are still big schools, but can use a little bit of help, it kind of circulates the talent and keeps things interesting. Because now you don't know next year. Nebraska may get another recruit here or there because they're like, what, she's going in there. Team can get pretty good. They might get a top recruit or something like that. So I think maybe she's just looking at a new opportunity, a little bit of a challenge, and maybe trying to knock off a big dog like Oklahoma when it comes to playing in the playoffs.
Good point. AR, stay here real quick. You made some great points. Give me your opinion on where we should stack these lady Oklahoma Sooners softball program amongst your dynastic teams, franchises, or programs. Where do you think we should put them?
You should definitely put them in a conversation. When you have a team that goes to 16 World Series, what do you say, 23 years, winning 7, it's not easy among any other sport. And again, when we talk about, women's sports, sometimes it gets overlooked because it's not the men's baseball team or something like that. But again, when it's an even playing field, and you have teams just going at it in their respective sport, it's the same damn thing as a football team or a basketball team, because that's the playing level. That's the even playing field. And, when it comes to softball teams, three-peating and then, that much when it comes to getting there into the World Series, it's kind of unheard of when it comes to college softball. So there should be no reason why they're not in the conversation. The fact that some people might not have them in the conversation at this point, especially after the three-peat, or even if they didn't three-peat and they just went back-to-back. It's something to look at like, wow, this, what they got going there is something that, you don't see too often.
Yeah. Right. Facts, big facts. You definitely bring up some great points. And it's just remarkable. It really is, because it's one thing to win, And to me, just the amount of success that they've had in the like AR said, the many times that they've been in the Women's College World Series, to me is enough to already put them in the conversation.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
But to top it off, a three-peat with the dominant faction that they did this year, so I mean, you're not outscoring them, and you're not going to score enough.
I mean, I can say about this team though. Because I watched a few games, and I didn't even cut you off. I watched a few games. They can beat you in a high-scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
They can beat you in a tight game because they got the pitching, they got the hitting, they play small ball. I mean, it's like they are stacked, top to bottom.
Yeah, you can't really target them anywhere.
Right.
Try to there's no weaknesses for that team.
Right. And that's what I like about them. That's what I like about them, man. They fun to watch, man. And I think that it's a shame if you like sports. This how I am, man. I like sports, so I don't look at gender. I look at the competitiveness of the sport.
Yeah.
If you got two roaches racing, you know what I'm saying? I might watch that.
Whoa. You know what I'm saying?
I like competition, bro.
Hey, hold on, bro. I don't do the roaches. The roaches. We got some other things we got to discuss.
Hey, bro. Sometimes you gotta make the best of your situation.
No, they ain't the best of the situation. No, they need to get gone. That means you got to clean. You got some cleaning up to do. Don't invite me to your house, and do not offer me a bowl of Raisin Bran because I don't know if that's roaches or raisins. Don't offer it to me.
Both on protein. The raisin and the roaches.
Nah, I'm good, dog. Yeah, I don't know if I can come over to your spot. You got me scared now, Detroit. You got me scared, dog.
No, but seriously though, man. I like competition, man. So I think that if it's great competition and they put on a great I want to say show, but for lack of better words right now, good, good competition. I watch it, man. That's how I am. I don't really look at gender. I was looking at, not to kind of get off the subject, but to kind of make this point, I was watching the Aces play, and they just dominating so much that sometimes it ain't even fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, actually, and not to go too deep off in the sidebar, the Aces, they're phenomenal. But they got competition. They just took a butt whooping from the Connecticut Suns the other day, and that has me intrigued. I'm like, okay. Well, they do have competition. I thought they was going to streamroll through the season.
Yeah, I didn't see that game, but most of the games I watched, they were just dominating.
Yeah, they were dominating. Oh my God. Yeah, at one point, the point differential was so absurd that they were scoring so much and not allowing so much. I was like, they're going to go undefeated all season. And then the other day, Connecticut Suns put a butt whooping on them. I'm talking about put a butt whooping on them. And Sister Bonner, I think that's her name. I forget her first name. She dropped 41 on their head. So I'm like, okay. So they got competition. So that right there is something that you can grab and be like, that's going to be something that can grab people's attention to our product. And,
right.
And that might be the calling card for it. But yeah, man, you bring up some good points. You definitely bring up some good points. Let's transition this thing, but definitely shout out to Patty Gasso and the Lady Sooners of Oklahoma softball team. I've been singing y'all praises for the last couple of weeks on all types of shows because y'all deserve it.
I got over there.
I mean, y'all deserve it. I mean,
they deserve it though. Those are big girls though.
And my thing is it's something different when you're dominating. While you're dominating, like I can understand if you were like still, competition is catching up and you still win and it adds to your legacy. But they're like dominating while they're dominating. And you brought up a good point about how they can play in close games. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. They were down 7-4 to Clemson, and that was probably one of the best softball games, or pound for pound, one of the best games I've ever seen. That one, I'm talking about they were down for majority of that game because they started off with a 4-0 lead, and then Clemson comes running back, and then they was down 7-4 for a damn near majority of the game. Made some great defensive plays. Oh, let's not forget about this. This is one of the plays that they had while clinching that three-peat. Take a look at this.
In the Women's College World Series.
Kaylee Harding, deep center field. Back goes Coleman to the wall, and she's got it and keeps it in the yard. The second rob job of the Champ Series for these two outfields.
Jada Coleman is so athletic. And you always see the shot of her catching it and bringing it in. How about the distance she had to cover to even get there? She's running full speed, jumps up to grab this, bring it back in. A payback from yesterday. Kaylee Mudge did this to Oklahoma.
So they're dominating style.
Oh yeah,
they're dominating style. That was such a clutch play. People who didn't watch the Women's College World Series last week, that was a 3-run home run that Shorty took away, and that was in a clutch moment, clutch play in a national championship clinching type of game scenario, and to me that adds another level of flavor of seasoning you throw on that joint where not only are you dominating for the last 23 years, you're dominating now, 3P, and you're doing this shit in style. To me,
they got swag too. You know, like people been complaining about the way they celebrate, but they don't do that when Tatis are doing it. No, I'm saying now when some of the baseball players are doing it, some of the football players doing it. I'm saying now, but as soon as they do it, they celebrating too much. Why they celebrating? Let them have fun.
Yeah.
As long as they're not like taunting, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, and it ain't like they pulling titties out and everything.
Oh, wait a minute, that's a whole different game.
I want to be a man.
Like, I be buying season tickets. Somebody said it's gonna be a titty out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to watch.
But you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't doing nothing off the wall or anything like that. So let the ladies,
right.
ladies. But anyway, let's move this train moving. Because wild scenario. So we've done some live streams to some big events, and one of the funniest moments that I've ever saw, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett was doing a live stream for the finals for Game 4 last week.
All right.
You know, some of the funniest content I've ever seen in my life. Matter of fact, big homie Detroit man, go ahead and break down the audio and the clips, and we're gonna talk about this because this was.
All right. So I got it in 2 parts. I'm gonna play the first part first.
Yeah, go ahead.
For what?
I don't know why Pierce talking so much.
You know what you were
doing. Shorty, they look thick. Okay, if you gonna get fired, go out like that, man.
I got fired for having some entertainment. Right. I'm playing cards. It's my boy's birthday. It's girls dancing, and we blowing some tree.
Yeah.
I mean, what did I do wrong?
That's what it was, though. It looked like, hey, yo, can I say it? What it looked like, B? Man, it looked like an orgy. Like a,
dog,
did you have your shirt off?
Huh?
You had your shirt
No,
off?
I didn't. I didn't have my shirt off. I had my shirt on.
But you was having a good time.
I was playing cards.
There was some girls around him. That was it? Who recorded it, though? Like somebody?
I did.
I
did. No, look, I'm turned up. I'm on live. Like,
he on live going crazy.
Oh yeah, what's up, y'all? We out here.
He licked his lips and all that.
But look, I'm getting a haircut too. I'm getting a cut.
It's cracking.
It's popping. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I don't know. I don't never go live either. I was just feeling my cut or something. I was like. Then it was popping behind me. It was like,
had the joints over there.
Hey, dog, come on. Hey, I mean, but look, the hood was feeling me. Everybody was relating. Everybody
can we hear the call?
No, so they hit me, and there's a higher up. It was a lady. I'm like, hello. She's like, yeah, we're doing, an investigation. I'm like, could you tell us what happened? And I'm like, you didn't see it? Like, I mean, I was just.
You saw that ass, man?
I was just hanging out, playing cards. It wasn't my house. I mean, it was self-explanatory.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Some girls dancing, and I was, I had some OG. I mean,
and in LA, it's legal.
Yeah, it's legal.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing illegal. But, at the end of the day, it's Disney. And so they was like, they have a morals clause, and it was just, they just said it was immoral.
All right, so that was the first part. I played that part. That was the part when he was on I Am Athlete.
Yeah. And that was when he got suspended from ESPN.
Right. Now this is Stephen A. Smith rebuttal to it.
Okay.
I got mad respect for Paul Pierce, and I got mad love for the three brothers he was talking to. And I'm not even sure that was a month ago, because I know LaShawn McCoy, Shady McCoy, works for FS1, and I'm not sure that interview actually was a month ago. For some reason, it propped up and somebody brought it to my attention. It was the first time I'd ever seen it. And I felt the need to address it. I'm going to tell you why I felt the need to address it. Because Brandon Marshall, Deshaun Jackson, another one of my brothers, and Shady McCoy, another one of my brothers, all know there's certain stuff that you just can't do. Not when you're working in corporate America. Damn sure not when you're working for Disney. Paul Pierce, don't act like you didn't know what the morals clause is. You look like you had a bunch of strippers in your house, like you had some weed going on everywhere and alcohol and all of this other stuff. You don't represent Disney that way. And here's the whole point that really pisses me off. The fact of the matter is, don't bring up the hood. We all from it. And the fact of the matter is that when you out in the hood, you doing stuff in front of your house in the streets or whatever the case may be. You ain't broadcasting it and streaming live over Instagram. There's a difference. There's a difference. What you mean? I was in my house. I was chilling in my house. It's self-explanatory. What was self-explanatory is that you went viral with it while you were working with somebody else. You don't know the importance of projecting images. I didn't see you doing that when you were playing. You knew you were representing the Boston Celtics. You didn't do it then. See, this is the problem. And this is where we cost ourselves as a community when we let stuff like this slide. And I'm speaking out of love, because I love all of those brothers. And I know they were vibing with Paul Pierce, and you laughed and you clapped and all of that other stuff. Deshaun Jackson, no, baby, he wouldn't do something like that. Brandon Marshall's a businessman, highly intelligent, with a lot of aspirations. He wouldn't do that. Shady McCoy is smart as hell. And that man is about his business. He wouldn't do that. Then what's so damn funny? See, somebody got to tell Paul Pierce, you're a champion, bro. You're a champion. No, you didn't break any laws. It's not about the laws when it's in the private sector. The private sector has their own laws. There's certain things you can't do in the NBA. There's certain things you can't do in the NFL. There's certain things you can't do in Major League Baseball. There's certain things you can't do at Disney, just like you can't do it at Fox. You know that. You know that. What kind of advice would y'all give to John Morant?
Bad advice.
Got 5 years and
Right.
$231 million coming to him.
He about to
The whole
close it
gun
up.
toting thing didn't break any laws. Carrying firearms is legal in many, many states. You don't even need a permit. You don't need it in Tennessee. You don't need it in Alabama. You don't need it in various states throughout this country. So he didn't break any laws. But you know what he did break? He did break rules and regulations of the NBA, which is why the suspension is pending. What advice are you in a position to give them? Is their voices are powerful. They're profound. They can do a lot of great things. And I know KG is going to. Ain't nobody throwing no shade on him here. You, Paul Pierce, what you doing, bro?
So I wanted to play that much of the clips. I want to get the full context of his argument before I say what I'm going to say about what he said and the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing. Shocking. In some parts, I do agree with Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I think he got some points for sure. Yeah.
I think he got some points. You know, I hate to say it, but some parts I do agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because I work in corporate America. And what's up, Caesar? I work in corporate America. And so I work in a corporate environment. So I do understand there's certain things that you can't do because you are in that corporate environment, or when you out, you representing that corporation. So I understand that perfectly clear.
Big time.
And, you know, I'm a firm believer in being true to yourself. While you work with me, you know, what you see is what you get. How I am now is how I am everywhere. You know, I can contest to that.
He ain't no lie.
However, I do know there's certain things I'm not going to do while I'm at work too. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's different because we talk about code switching and stuff like that. I think it's a whole different between that and code switching. Because it's like you ain't gonna say certain things around your grandmother. That's not code switching.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's the respect for
Thank you.
Your grandmother. Just like I have respect for my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For where I work at. And so I understand it to that degree. Where I disagree with Stephen A. Smith is once he was fired from ESPN, he is not attached to nobody. So him on KG show, if he want to sit on this mud with his dick out, that's up to him.
That's up to him.
That's him. You know what I'm saying?
He's representing Paul Pierce at that point.
Representing Paul Pierce at that point. And then him talking about, hey, you want to be seen with liquor in your hand and smoking weed? He in California where it's legal.
Or how about the other states that's legalized weed?
No, where? I'm just saying, I'm just using that example. That's where he was at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he's not working for nobody. He's somewhere where it's legal. And so what, he has some females there. So what? This is he's a private citizen now.
Mm-hmm.
He's not working for Disney. So that's why I disagree. He can do what he wants, as long as he's not breaking any laws when he's not attached to a company.
Yeah.
So that's why I disagree with Stephen A. Smith. So I think that a lot of times, we get down on some stuff Stephen A. Smith with rightfully so. Because sometimes he say some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I kind of agree with him on the corporation part, on certain aspects. Yeah, it's good on certain aspects of his argument. Yeah. Because at that time the point he made about, okay, we do stuff in the hood, but we not recording. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Because
at least the smart ones ain't.
Right. And that points to Ja Morant too.
Yeah.
If you want to be at the club, showing the gun, whatever, don't go on IG Live to do that.
Do it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself. Another point I disagree with Stephen A. Smith. He said, "Oh, I love my brother. I want to help him out. Blah blah blah." Then why do you pull him to the side instead of going on your podcast live, who are a big platform, and check him out? Pull him to the side, say, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? And then you lay out the facts, which you might have thought you disagree with. That's how you help him. You don't help him by putting him out in front of everybody and then blasting him out. That's not helping him.
No, that helps. That helps
you get viewership.
Yeah,
don't help him.
Bingo.
That's another thing I disagree with, but I ain't gonna take all the time. God, go ahead.
No, you hit it right on the head, and I've made no bones about it. I used to rock with Stephen A. Smith heavy. Called on his show, talked to him a couple of times on his radio show, followed him daily, Monday through Friday, and then you just kind of see the way that he moves and the way that his drive, his motivation, and he's made no bones about it. Oh, I get paid $12 million. I'm Stephen A. making. Yeah, we know what you're motivated about. And so that to me, that plays into a part of what you say and what direction you want your words to go through.
Right.
Because it makes it look like somebody's going to pull the strings and make sure, hey, Stephen A., talk this way so we can make this point cross. Because we know you work at Disney. We know that.
We know.
And so that's what sometimes is like, and I'm with you. Mel. There were some points that he said, especially to the corporate part. I mean, we've worked in corporate America. We worked in country club setting, corporate America setting. We understand on what it means to have a certain image that they want to portray.
Right.
All right. And that's why I probably didn't last long in none of those settings, because I still was going to be me.
Yeah.
But I knew that. And I know how certain dynamics that they want of a viewership or an image that they want to portray out there. And I know that. And so that's probably why I've had some success, and probably why I haven't had a lot of success in those type of settings. Because at the end of the day, I still got to be me. Right. And my thing with Paul Pierce, he knew about the
moral clause.
The moral clause. He knew.
He had to know.
But the thing of the matter is, he was in a moment that he was enjoying himself. Probably forgot that. There's some scrippers right there.
Right.
Oh, damn. Too late now. I'm fine now.
Yeah.
I think he kind of had to know. But hey, jump in here, AR. What do you think of this whole scenario situation? Stephen Smith castrating Paul Pierce.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes when Stephen A. talks, I find it so funny the way he breaks down everything. But no, I mean, like Mel said, I mean, at some point, people have to stop getting surprised when this is happening to people with a big platform, because again, people think that just because you're a celebrity or a sports player, you answer to nobody. Meanwhile, all these people answer to somebody.
Right.
So they got rules they have to follow, and they know of these rules. If you're working for a company like Disney and you have strippers in the background of your Instagram live, you will face consequences.
Right.
Simple. No, you're not breaking laws. Just like you said, John Moran didn't break laws. But again, you're supposed to be representing an image. And a big part of that image with the NBA and with sports, a lot of it is focused to the younger generation, children. They're watching the content. If it was an 18-plus sports channel that you worked for and it was, rated R or whatever, people can only watch if you're 18 and older, that makes sense. But when it's for the general public, you can't be doing that. And I do agree with Mel said that if you really want to help him, you pull him to the side. I think that Stephen A. Smith really is trying to help younger athletes or just athletes in general who are in the game now, because you see the things that are going on. And, Paul Pierce is out the game. He can do whatever he wants now. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have any ties to nobody, like you said. Like, he's not representing the Celtics at this point in his life. Yes, he's a Celtics icon. Like, everyone knows Paul Pierce because of what he did for the Celtics and, throughout his career. But he has no obligation with the teams now or with ESPN. So if he did that right now, no one would bat an eye. But when you're under contract, people have got to stop acting surprised when there are consequences for their actions.
Right.
It's just plain and simple. We can't keep, like he said, you can't keep giving like passes to people and like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It kind of is when you are working for a company that, again, has a broadcast direction towards kids, and you have strippers twerking in the background. It's not something for kids to be watching. So he deserved it. At the end of the day, he deserved it, no matter how small or how large a situation is. Just like John Morant deserves what's going to happen here. Especially with John Morant giving the slap on the wrist the first time, and then now he did it again. But yeah, I mean, people have got to stop acting surprised and stop trying to defend these people when they do something stupid. At the end of the day, they got to learn a lesson, and if they are fired or suspended, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime.
My mom used to tell me that all the time.
All the time. If you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. That's the fact of the matter is. I mean, Mel's parents told him that. My parents didn't sure as hell told me that. So, and I'm willing to bet that there's some discipline that was brought on you, or that, hey, if you do this, these are consequences.
100%.
So it's like you got to deal with it. And at the end of the day, Paul Pierce is a little bit older. He should have known, but I'll say this. He didn't grow up in the social media era when he was playing ball. He was on the more on the back end of it. All right. And I'm not absolving him for the situation, but at the same time, it's like, well, maybe because I think the strippers was.
What up, AP?
I think he was real kind of. We need hear more. All right, AP. I see you throwing your daggers, but
he coming in hot.
Yeah, coming in hot. But I mean, it's. I'm not absolving him for anything, but I think he was just literally caught up in the moment, celebrating life, and then all of a sudden, oh, cheeks, oh, they didn't see him now. Because I think
I hear you on that, and I totally disagree with you. But here's my thing. Here's what I say to that, in what you in your point. When you become a brand, once you went in that kind of atmosphere, that kind of situation, you're a brand now.
Yeah.
You surround people around you to help protect your brand. I don't nobody know me like I know me. You know what I'm saying? I know my faults. I know all that stuff. I know my vices are everything. So I want to protect my brand so nothing affects the flow of my money. I want to put people around me to help protect my brand. They be, hey, man, I want to do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you might want to do that, bro. Because, yeah, he in the moment. we go back to the country club thing when I was at the country club. That was a heat in the moment type thing. You know what I'm saying? But if I happen to be in a Paul Pierce situation, I have somebody around me say, "Hey man, it ain't worth it." You know what I'm saying? And I probably would have pulled back.
Well, I tried to help you, but you was already
too far down the line.
Yeah, you was already out there.
It was too late then.
It was too late. I was like,
I was already on 10 by then.
I was like, well, damn.
But I just don't understand. Oh,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't. Yeah, my fault. I just don't understand why, like, when athletes or when people with a status are gonna do something wrong, they turn on their Instagram live.
Yeah.
Like, you notice that? Like, it's always IG Live. Like,
yeah.
They can't be doing something good where they're on IG Live, you know, just talking or, you know, doing charity or something. It's
right.
when, you know, they're holding a gun, you know, they have a gun in their hand or they're, you know, they have strippers in the background. I don't know.
It's like a good time for IG Live.
Right. Yeah. For the millions of followers I have. And
I mean, that's the same thing with them rappers out there committing crimes on IG Live.
Yeah.
Understand? How I get indicted?
Not only committing crimes, but they didn't make lyrics to plan out
lyrics to. They would have found the gun where the lyrics said the gun was.
I just stashed the 9 up under the seat.
Right.
Blew homeboys head to a seat. Be like, what you talking about? What? You can't put that in the lyric. Now you
put the lyrics. You go on IG Live showing. I mean, come on, bro. So I mean, to AR's point, you can't do that. Yeah. You have to, if you're not smart enough, put somebody around that's smart enough to protect you from yourself.
Hey man, this is what I suggest. All you ball players, NBA, NFL, MLB, whatever, take a portion of your check and have a 24/7 HR rep around you at all times.
Right. That's right. Paul, that's an HR issue. Paul, that's an HR issue.
A Detroit man. I probably wouldn't say that next time you on the podcast, bro. Yeah.
I probably wouldn't put those pills in her drink, sir. That's an HR issue.
That's beyond HR. that is a I'm locked up type issue. That's way beyond an HR issue. Go ask Cosby. Just ask.
Yeah, I went to his university.
Yeah, yeah. I think you did. You was what, cum laude?
Magum cum laude. Magum cum laude. Put some in your latte.
AP says you really don't hear baseball players in the news like best. I just think that has to do with popularity of the sport. That has nothing to do with.
Ask Trevor Bauer about that.
Ask Trevor Bauer about that because his name was in the news just as much as NBA players and NFL players.
Ask Darryl Strawberry about that.
Oh, definitely ask Darryl Strawberry.
For real.
Him and Good.
He was in different decades. He was in the damn news.
In the news all the time. But no, let's keep this thing moving. Because tonight we have Game 5 of the NBA Finals. You got Denver Nuggets, of course, up 3-1 with a chance to close it out at home tonight. AR, is there any possible way that Miami extends this series? Any possible way?
I don't think so, man. I think it's over. I said 4 or 5. I said 4 or 5 games. I mean, again, they're outmatched. Their bench isn't playing well right now. Their last resort is having Tyler Hero get some minutes tonight, is what I've seen.
That ain't gonna be enough.
Not gonna be enough. You know, LeBron and D Wade aren't suiting up again. The series is over. I mean, listen, it was a great story, but we knew when the Suns beat the Suns and the Nuggets beat the Lakers, we knew who was gonna be the champion this year. Jokic will get his Finals MVP. This is how it's gonna be. I don't see, there's no way. Bam's playing great. You know what I'm saying? Bam's playing great. Miami, Jimmy Butler's kind of just doing his thing. Not really, the special player like he's been earlier in the playoffs. I saw a graphic. It was I think it was game 2. They showed it. It was like 30 points per game first round, then 24, and then lower in the 24, and then what's it called? Like 20 points per game in this series. So he's playing worse. And then, like we've been talking about with this Nuggets team, they're deep. They could score at 1 through 5 in their starting lineup, and they got dudes who can come off the bench and play defense and score as well. And Miami's big thing was their bench, but even the best team they played, Boston, I actually watched a video and it was talking about like their players, and 3 out of 5 of their starters were in the bottom 27 at their position. And then their benches isn't as good as Denver. So even against the best competition that Miami's faced, it's not the Nuggets. The Nuggets have been the best team, like we said, all year. And, they're outmatched. It's a great story, but I think it ends tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Detroit.
I agree, AR. I mean, not much you can add to that because I was going to bring up a part. It's a great story. It's good to talk about what they did, coming from a play-in game all the way to a finals. Hey, man, that's nothing. That's something they should be applauded for.
Right.
So it's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to hang their heads down low on. But they just came up against a juggernaut. They just came up against a better team, and they've been outplayed. And like I said from the beginning of the series, Butler and the rest of them are gonna have to play like that every single night, and that's impossible. Even Mike had some days off. Even Kobe had some days off.
Not a lot of them though.
I mean, he had them though.
Yeah, true.
What I'm saying? So my thing is like, even if that, none of them are Mike. So if he had days off, they're gonna have days off. So there's no way they're gonna be able to keep that up a whole series. So we knew it was gonna come down to this. I thought maybe they'll probably sneak out 2 games. I think tonight is over with.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I said Nuggets in 6, and I gave Miami credit out of just the way that they play, their playing style. They don't quit. They're not no pushovers. They got that dog mentality in them. So that's what I was giving them 2 games for that alone.
Yeah, I mean, a Chihuahua got a lot of bark, but they ain't biting shit.
Well, I'll say this. The Heat started in this joint looking like rock-rollers, and they looking, the Nuggets kind of downgraded them to Chihuahuas. I mean, it's just
they had a rock-roller growl,
Chihuahua
fight. That's it. Right. For real. I mean, but here's the thing. And I'll say this too. I like Miami because of what you said of the never quit attitude, great coaching. You like the story even in sports, how he coaches. How he brought his team from, like I said, from play-in games. So I like that. That's something to like. But Bama's not big enough to stop Jokic. I mean, Jokic just bully him down there. Mm-hmm. They don't have no one, and that's their biggest player.
Yeah.
So that's one of the factors they need right there. They don't have nobody to even get in his face.
He's saying right there. I mean, size is a huge difference in this matchup.
They don't have no one even get in there and at least slow them down. We ain't gonna stop them because every great player gonna get theirs, but you want to at least be able to slow them down. Make them have some bad nights, make them take some bad shots, things of that nature. But they don't have nobody that can do that.
True.
So that's one of the things. And then with the rest of the supporting cast, if they're not on, A is all the way off.
Yeah.
You have good teams that can. Let's take the Warriors. We seen the Warriors where they had some games where they should have lost, but ended up finding ways to lose because they turned it back on at the end of the game. Even they don't have great shooting nights, they have enough to kind of win games. Miami don't have that. So that's another one of their downfalls. And like Ant said, with the Nuggets having a great bench, your bench is your best weapon. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people overlook that. Your bench is your best weapon because your starter's going to need some rest. Mm-hmm. You need somebody to come in and at least keep you in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have that. He's in foul trouble and still can't do nothing.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad when your player is in foul trouble, you still can't beat him. That shows that you have for me. Mm-hmm. It shows to me that Miami has a lack of building their roster to take on these teams like this. Here's my biggest thing.
Let me say this too. Let me say this one thing about it. It is another thing too. You got to give Denver as a good story too, because they never won the championship. I remember the old Alice English days. Mm-hmm. These were them ugly rainbow uniforms, or they call them pride uniforms now. To wear them uniforms, and and they ain't winning nothing. You know, when they had Spud Webb on the team and
AR, don't feel bad. I'm not even old enough to remember these things. This is only a Detroit male.
You know who Spud Webb is?
Yeah.
I was saying.
I just wanted to point out that you're only old enough. You're the only one on this panel old enough to remember when the Denver Nuggets was actually good. That's all.
No, they wasn't good. I was just saying. Wait a minute. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. They wasn't good. I'm just saying. I remember watching them back then, and they had a few players go to the All-Star game and things like that nature, but they still wasn't. They still didn't win anything. So now you see them. Now you fast forward to now, and they're actually in the finals. That's another good story.
It is.
So I want to overlook that story too. But go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead, Lamar.
But I think Denver also has the pressure to make sure that they win this situation. You got to look at Jokic, who 2-time MVP, runner-up this year. So he's been in the conversation of MVP the last 3 years. But I mean, is you've had. And they made all the excuses in the world for Jokic and the Nuggets not to win go deep into the playoffs the last few years.
Right.
So now, to me, that's why the pressure is so on them to win it, is because, hell, there is no excuses on why you shouldn't win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't use Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. being injured excuse no more. They're both true. They're both healthy. Right. You can't use the excuse of, well, we ran into the better teams in the Western Conference. No, y'all were the better team in the Western Conference.
For real.
You can't use the excuse that we ran into a better team in the finals. You damn sure can't use that in this case. You're nowhere close to the team in the finals right now. So there's no more excuses. There's no more reasons why you shouldn't win. And, I mean, just like you said it, the Heat were an 8th seed in the play-in tournament. The pressure is not even close to being on them. They're not even supposed to be in this moment,
right?
So it's all on Denver to win it. I gave them 6 games to close it out, but I'm having a hard time. I don't think there's enough hope in the world that you can have at this moment to think that Miami's going to extend this series. It's just tough.
I wouldn't be mad, AP. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if that happened. I would be surprised, but not mad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad.
Nah.
I'd just be whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is.
We went to like Porter Jr. or somebody like that.
Yeah, we
all have a problem here.
Struggling, like what?
I'll say Al Silver must be in there with Paul Pierce smoking that weed.
I'll say this though, if they give the finals to Murray, I think he's just as deserving, because it's not like Jokic has done this on his own in this finals. Right. It's been the Jokic and Murray show pretty much.
Can you argue this though? A couple years where they were looking at favorites and Murray got hurt, they would bounce from the playoffs. Now they got a healthy second round. They got a healthy Murray, not in the finals. So can you argue that if he plays, both of them play well, it goes to Murray?
Well, that's my point. You actually said exactly what I was thinking, and you just put it in a more eloquent way. I like how you did that. Put a little bow on it. It was cute. But no, I mean, you gotta correlate it to Jamal Murray's availability and health. Mm-hmm. So in 2 years you win MVP, you can't get out of nowhere in the playoffs because you don't have your number 2 or 1A scoring threat with you. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go more 1A because I think they're pretty much just as important.
Yeah, I can go with that.
So there's no coincidence that all of a sudden you get to the finals because you got a healthy Murray. To me, there's no coincidence. So that to me that puts value on how valuable Jamal Murray is, and not just valuable that you just assume and presume with Jokic. To me, I think it's just as important because, I mean, look at the last 2 years. Yeah, you may have won MVP, but you also, pulled a Joel Embiid in the playoffs the last 2 years. Healthy Jamal Murray. But now you look like the real MVP when you don't win the MVP and you got a healthy Jamal Murray. To me, there's no coincidence. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, having Murray has been what's put them over the hump. I mean, even if they didn't have Porter Jr., I mean, Murray is the second most important on that team. I mean, I think you still give the Finals MVP to Jokic because, yeah, if they didn't have Murray, they weren't going far. But can you imagine if they didn't have Jokic? Like, reverse it.
True.
They probably don't make the playoffs
True.
without Jokic.
True.
Because Jokic he's really unreplaceable for that team. But no, like Jokic is like an unreplaceable player. I mean, there's guys that you can throw into the Jamal Murray role throughout the league, but the way Jokic scores efficiently, passes. I mean, yeah, Murray's an amazing player. And, it was very impressive when he had that triple double with 30 points the other night. But I mean, I still think you can't call anybody else but Jokic the most important player on that team.
Fits the narrative better anyway.
Yeah, it does. I highly doubt they give it to anybody else but Jokic.
Yeah, I think I'll go to Jokic too.
Like the whole Iguodala and Curry thing back in 15.
Right.
Nah, they're not. NBA will not repeat that. I promise you that. Let's keep this train moving. Speaking of Miami, we talked about Miami in this aspect. There's another big name that is headed down to Miami, and we haven't had the chance to talk about it, but Messi, for those who are soccer heads, know about Lionel Messi, and I mean he makes his way to enter Miami, which is a team in the Major League Soccer team down here in the States. And AR, are you familiar with Messi? Yeah, so speak on it and the impact that you think he can have for the MLS.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before when it came to soccer and the impact it's had on sports in general for the planet, because that's a international sport, the most popular sport on the planet. And we always said MLS doesn't compare to the European leagues. It doesn't compare to those leagues. And now you have what people say, and the greatest player to ever play soccer now come over to MLS. Now, what that does is, like we talked about with Shohei and the Angels, or Wembanyama now coming to the Spurs, like the attention MLS is now going to get from around the world, because everybody want to watch Messi play. If it's him, Ronaldo, Mbappe, or whoever it may be from Brazil, Neymar. Those guys are playing. You're going to watch that game. If you're one of the big soccer fans, like I know dudes who are soccer fans, and they'll be sitting there watching the most random team in the most random location on the planet.
That's
but it's because that one player is on that team. He's watching it. So like what it's going to bring is not only the attention from the fans, but other players are like, oh wow, Messi's over there. You know what? He's probably going to go over there and do whatever he wants. He's probably the best player on the planet. How about I go over there onto a different team? The same way we were talking about with the pitcher from Oklahoma going to Nebraska, moving around, wanting to build something for themselves. I think that's really going to bring a good competition boost probably in the future to MLS, and maybe bring some of the American players back home, like Captain America over there and in England, bring them back over here, bring those guys back over here, and then also the international attention.
That's a great point. That's a great point, man. Anthony, oh my gosh, I think we might have to kick Nick out for sure. No, because Anthony, man, I forgot that point. I've been talking about Messi probably the last few days, and I didn't even remember to bring up that point that we have a lot of our youth that go over to Europe to develop better, because by far, European leagues develop your players better. They get better. They play better. They become bigger names because in Europe, soccer has always been number one over there.
Right. We're just about to say anything outside the United States.
Yeah.
Soccer is king.
Yeah. Soccer is king. So pretty much outside the United States, soccer is number one. How we treat the NFL, that's how they treat soccer.
Right.
Matter of fact, football. Let's be football. Let's be respectful for European brothers and sisters. So football is big over there, and they treat it like the NFL, like we do over here. And AR brings up such a great point. You see so many young guys and young ladies, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, start going abroad and playing football, and then they join their leagues. I've seen Dempsey used to do it. Who played for the U.S. national team and play over in European leagues. You pretty much become one of the better players, and then hopefully you come back home stateside and do it. So that brings
cricket still ain't got along soccer though, ain't.
Nah. Cricket ain't like that. Cricket ain't like soccer. Cricket's big.
Australia, India, and UK.
Yeah, but it ain't big like
outside them countries. Cricket ain't hitting on it.
Soccer's every single country has soccer is up there for really. America's like the one lone country that is not in their probable top 5, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, because you have over here, it's what not I'm saying order, but obviously football is one, and then you have basketball, baseball, hockey. I mean,
somebody may go to soccer.
I would say there's college sports that are better, or NASCAR, or just like college sports.
College sports,
more than soccer. So really, it's only America where soccer's not probably top 3, if not 1.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, and I think that plays into.
And I like to put my bid in NASCAR. It's not a sport, but go ahead.
I don't know. Wait, hold on.
We had this discussion before, sir. We ain't got to go down this road.
Did we?
Yes, we ain't got to go down this road.
Did I win?
No, we just called it a draw.
We just called it a draw.
Agree.
I'm not gonna budge on that one.
You're not budging on it.
No, but shoot, I can steal a car and have somebody chase me. That ain't no sport.
Well, you treat it like a sport.
It don't matter. That car ain't no sport.
What about horse racing? You see the horse racers, everybody going down in New Jersey, got the Monmouth racetrack. That's probably bigger than soccer.
Horse racing.
Yeah. So that's big. That gets more attention on ESPN than soccer does.
I don't think I see it. I don't think like a horse's cheese on a bun.
Anyway,
you never had horse burger, bro?
No.
No, bro. I've never eaten horse.
No.
You probably haven't eaten it not knowing.
Touche. Hey. For those who don't know, me and Mel got a kitchen background, and trust me, when he says things like that, I'm like, I can't even argue that. Touche. Two motherfucking touche. For real. Yeah. Matter of fact, we've all might have eaten horse and we probably ain't known about it anyway. But no, what, AP? What?
You talking about a donkey, man? Donkey. Anthony, speak for yourself, sir. Speak for yourself.
Whoa. All right, let's bring this
completely off topic. We've gone off the rail. You can't talk about soccer because this is what happens.
Soccer eating ass is synonymous.
This shit is going way off the rails, but no.
Hey, man, Ant said it, man. Ant said it.
Yeah, chill out, AP.
Chill out, AP. So I won't think the other Ant.
Yeah. Not AR.
Not AR, but AP.
AP. Let's go. But I mean, soccer. It's. I think you make this move because you want to, like AR said, you want to start bringing your best talent and even the best talent internationally stateside. Because that's the only way you're going to grow your product to as big, especially MLS, to as big as it is seen internationally. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it, is to bring in the best talent from you that you have produced, bring them back home, and go get the big stars internationally. That's the only way. I mean, we seen it before with David Beckham, big name. He came over. We seen it with Thierry Henry, was a big name at the point in time when he was playing. Wayne Rooney, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We've seen it before with MLS. But I think the difference is right here is that we were getting those cats pretty much with the gas fumes of they prime left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a little bit of my prime left. You know, that's pretty much how you was getting the fumes of their prime. Messi, I think you got a nice amount of prime left in him. He's 35. And now, I mean, let me know if you disagree with this, AR. I still see Messi as a top 5 all-time soccer player right now in the whole world.
Yeah, I'm not a big soccer person. I get most of my soccer knowledge from my friends, some of the friends I have. But I mean, again, he goes into the World Cup this year, and he scored. I think he scored 2 goals in the championship game, and then he had the penalty kick. Like, he's still got gas in the tank. He's not showing signs of. Again, may be like a LeBron where he might not be playing as much as he did when he was 20. Yeah, but dudes like Ronaldo, they're older. Ronaldo, is coming to the end for him, and he's still considered one of the best in the world, obviously. You know, so yeah. So when it comes to what I know, I mean, he probably still is up there, and he still got some gas in the tank. He looked great in the World Cup, and unlike Ronaldo, Messi was playing in the games. He was starting. He was out there almost the whole damn time. Ronaldo was sitting. So, you can see there's a difference when it comes to how much longer they're both going to be able to play and at what level they're going to be able to do it.
And more of an injury track record with Ronaldo than you do with Messi. Messi's been more durable, I would say, out of the two of them for sure.
I agree. I'll say this. I'm not much of a soccer fan.
Yeah.
I don't make no bones about that. But you can know how big a person's names carry weight when someone who doesn't watch the sport knows who that person is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had the same discussion when we talked about Gretzky.
Mm-hmm.
Gretzky's name transcended hockey.
I think so too.
People who didn't really watch hockey or even much of a fan knew who Wayne Gretzky was.
Yeah.
Knew of his greatness. And same thing that goes with Messi. I don't really watch soccer, but I know of his greatness because when I think about soccer, they tell you name a soccer player. That'd be one that come to my mind. I mean, Messi. You know what I'm saying? And I think the same thing when with the Gretzky. If I told you to name a hockey player, if you didn't watch hockey, you can say Gretzky. You can say Gordie Howe. When you go further back and stuff like that. Those names transcended their sport. And I think that's what Messi does. So him coming over to MLS. And like Ant was saying, well, both of y'all are really saying that's going to bring eyes to your sport, especially over in this country. And I may be able to help build not only the league, but even build a love for the sport over here.
To me, this is a win-win situation for everybody.
Yeah, it spreads out the talent pool to other countries that, like United States, isn't really respected as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I'm not a soccer fan, but when the World Cup was on, I saw the United States was picking up some wins. I was like, I want to watch this. I want to support my country. It brings a pride when your country's on the biggest stage. Like, I would only watch international soccer when Italy was in the World Cup, because I'm Italian. I would watch Italy, so that's someone I would watch. But then when your own country actually is able to qualify, and now the next World Cup is going to be in America.
Yeah.
The Canada, United States. And,
that's another aspect that needs to be added to that.
And Mexico is going to have, the games being played. I would love to go watch an international soccer game. What I'm saying? If they have it at, by me, like a MetLife or, in Philly or wherever it may be. It would be great to be able to go watch that game. So I feel like soccer over the next 5 to 10 years in this country will really start to pick up more. And I think it's great. Sports is amazing, and sports is able to unite people more than dividing people. So they have more sports. Yeah, more sports, and again, you want to see your country do good when they're on the biggest stages. So I think it's a win-win.
It's funny that you bring that up because Kansas City, they're going to host a World Cup game in 2026. You know what they've done? They've already revamped the airport. They've been doing construction everywhere. They're going to put the light rails up and down certain spots of the cities because they're getting prepared for international business.
Right.
And that's why I think that the timing of this getting messy here, because we're not 100% sure if he's going to still be part of Team Argentina when the World Cup gets here in 3 more years. So we don't know that. But it still gets that market, the foundation of that market. Well, MLS, to their credit, they've been around 27 years. So they got somewhat of a foundation.
Right.
Now you want to solidify that and keep building on top of that foundation so that you can start being seen the same way internationally. And before we move on, real quick, shout out to the ladies again.
I love ladies. Now I watch ladies soccer. Of
the United States. Hey man, APC, this is what we doing, dog. Is this what we doing? like
who really goes to Kansas City?
You know what? I'm gonna leave you alone right now because AP I ain't got time for you right now. Speaking of the ladies, the women's national soccer team for USA, guess where they finished the FIFA rankings heading to this summer's Women's World Cup? Just guess where they was ranked.
3.
Yes, you would be correct. 1. Shout out to the women of Team USA, the soccer team, because y'all ladies again come out ranked number 1. Germany 2, Sweden 3, England 4, France 5, Spain at 6, Canada 7, Brazil 8, Netherlands 9, Australia 10. So shout out to the ladies. Hey, going to be the favorites going into that World Cup, and damn it, deserved. Shout out to y'all. Hey, I love it. I love it.
Me too.
I don't know. I'll be shocked if they don't win it again, just because they've been so damn dominant. They've been. I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean better than the men's.
Oh. One do a World Cup they didn't even qualify recently. I can't remember which one.
The one before this one.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, all right. But me and AR kind of talked about this on his show. Me and Jersey Boy MJ kind of talked about it on the Late Night Owl show. This running back market for these NFL running backs is just getting horrendous. And you look at Josh Jacobs looking for a contract, got tagged. Tony Pollard got tagged, and all of a sudden you're looking at players who are premium talent. They're continuing to get tagged, and biggest name is Saquon Barkley. So let's take a listen to what he had to say about the running back market.
Saquon, quick question about the market for running backs. Do you think maybe, in the next collective bargaining or something that the union and the owners can come together and find something that works out better for running backs? Because it seems like a lot of guys are just not being paid at the value that they need to be paid.
I don't know, because that's going to be in 10 years. And to be honest, I love the game a lot, but I don't see myself being on a football field in 10 years. But what I will say about the running back market and the value of it, what do you think is going to happen? They tagged the top 3 guys. We didn't even get a chance to hit the open market. So when we don't get a chance to hit the open market, it hurts a guy like Miles. It hurts all those other guys. They put the cap at 10. And then when they have the tag, they have all the leverage. And that's the reality of it. But there's a personal side of it too. There's a human side of it too. And going off back to the question what Kim said, how I felt like that they're diminishing what I've done since 2018. I'm not saying that, but everyone will talk about the running back market and this and that and the third. Every team is different. Like everyone, there's a thing that goes up, and I think you mentioned it before about quarterbacks in the Super Bowl and how many rushing yards, the top rusher. But every team is not like every team. Pat Mahomes is a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time MVP, and like this is not everybody have Pat Mahomes, and this is no knock to Daniel Jones, so don't even try to flip like that. And then you look at the Eagles who play Jalen Hurts, a great quarterback. That team is amazing, but every team is not the Eagles. Every team don't have that much talent. And when you come to my situation, come to me personally, I feel like that I helped our team a lot. I feel like not only on the field, but off the field, I feel like as a leader, I feel like obviously there's a conversation of my numbers going down. I think there's a whole lot of other stuff that happened to play. It's NFL. We were a one-dimensional team in the beginning of the season. We were running the ball. We have a great coach. We played Detroit Lions. They came in, bust that ass, stopped me. We had to switch it up, and we have a great coach with Days and with Cav, and we had a whole new game plan. We came out and found a way to get the job done and make it to the playoffs. But going to the running back market, when you talk about the running back, no, I don't agree with that. I think that it's not fair because I don't think Tennessee Titans is a great team, but Derrick Henry's one of those guys on those team. St. Fran's a great team, but Christian McCaffrey's one of those guys on the team. Josh Jacobs, the list go on and on. And I think when you talk about the New York Giants, I think even Pierce came on and said it. I have a lot of respect in this league, and I think that's how it should be viewed.
AR, jump in here first, man.
Listen, there's a lot of parts I agree with. There's a part I don't agree with. When it comes to the running back market, like we talked about, they do so much more now that they used to do, and they're getting paid less for it. So it is unfair. Listen, when you do a lot and you're getting paid less than people who aren't doing as much as you are, you would get upset. You get angry. It is unfair.
Welcome to my world.
Right. But listen, here's the difference because there's a human side of it. That happens to people who are making, normal money. Not when you're, oh man, I got franchise tagged. I'm making $10 million this year. Oh my gosh. I like Saquon Barkley. My cousin was actually close to him in college. They both went to Penn State. Obviously, Saquon went there. So I like Saquon Barkley. But there's some times where athletes take it a little bit too far, when it comes to there's a human side of it. Like, I'm sorry, you're only getting $10 million this year. But it's the way the market's working out. There's ups, there's downs. And running backs to one position right now, or even though they are used a lot different ways, it's a passing game. It's quarterback, receivers, and then, obviously, running back's just a highly replaceable position. It's how it is. Yeah. You could take receivers and move them to running back. We've seen that happen with what was his name?
Debo.
Besides Debo, Packers. The Packers.
Montgomery. You see, Cordell Patterson do it.
Exactly. So it's not like the running back's a position like the quarterback. You don't got guys who can come around and play quarterback. Right. You can have players from different positions play running back. I mean, you see tight ends play fullback, which is one of the reasons why the fullback isn't really valuable anymore besides maybe one or two dudes.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. It's really just how it is. And you get beat up. And they don't have long careers compared to other positions. We didn't even know if Saquon Barkley was going to play another snap of football at that level like he was again because of his injuries.
That's my point.
So you can't expect it. Like, I understand it. You do expect it when you're at that level. I mean, and he's proved that he can come back and he'll be at his same level. So you demand the money that you deserve, but you have to understand that you're also at a position to where they can really get from a big pool of people to do exactly what you're doing.
Oh, okay. I'm with you.
Go ahead. You want it?
Yeah. I'll take it. Here's my thing. There's a lot of moving pieces of what he said.
Yeah.
He spoke about the running back position. So now you generalizing the whole position. So if you generalizing the whole position, and I might speak some of Anthony's points because I agree with some of the things he was saying. You have to look at how the running back is being used. There's no longer a single backs in rotation now. You have 2, sometimes 3, and up to 4 running backs rotating in and out of that position. So how I'm going to divide how I'm going to pay you based on that. Then if he talking about his personal position, right? So my thing is, okay, but you've been injured a lot. So am I paying you on just the years that that 1 year you came back and played well? I'm just gonna pay you off of that, or should I look at your overall performance and add that into my calculation of how much you are worth? And then after you get ready your fifth year option, I'm going back to the running back in general. Why would I pay you when I can probably go into college and pull somebody out of there that can do the same thing you can do?
Just think about Todd Gurley.
Yeah. So I think that Saquon Barkley has to look at it from all angles if he's going to address that idea of him getting paid. He's not going to get paid big money. It's just not happening anymore because of the way running back. Now going to the idea of running backs being used different ways. Yeah, they are being used different ways, but yet and still, even if you come out the backfield catching, you're not doing that every down. They might pull you out, bring in another running back. Now you use him out in different ways. So you're still not using all of your strength and might, for lack of better terms, because you're getting rested more than back when you just had like the Earl Campbells and the Barry Sanders and Eric Dickersons and the running backs like that. You don't have that anymore. Where you are the workhorse. They run you until your cleats come off. You're not doing that anymore. And and I will say this part too, and I'll yield the mic back to you, Lamar. I understand what you're saying, but here's what I say: you gotta look when talking about him talking about the $10 million. I look at it like this: if I make $15 an hour, my worldview is from a $15 an hour worldview. If I move up to $80,000 a year, my worldview is from an $80,000 a year type thing. So you have to look at it from a standpoint of his worldview is different because of the category he's in. So I can't compare what I make and say, oh, it's not unfair because you only make it, you whine about $10,000, because I don't know what he has to pay out of that $10 million. I mean,
man, damn that. He's still bitching about $10 million. Give me $10 million shit. Give it to me.
Because you're looking at it from what you make. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that New York, New Jersey tax is very high. But again, I agree.
What did Ann say?
I do agree with what you're saying when it comes to the obviously if you live at a certain no matter what it is, if I lose 10 whatever it may be, if he's making 10 million and I was making 10,000, just putting it out there at a scale, him losing $1 million is the same thing as me losing what, like $100? Like we'd be looking at it differently, or 1,000. We'd be looking at it differently. So I understand that, but again, it's just not comparable. To be complaining on it on a personal level, I think is ridiculous. Because again, I always say when sports players or an athletes complain about things like the media and stuff, you get to play the game that you love, and you get to have a good time with it, and you're getting paid extremely well. Right. So of course you get a cut, you're going to be upset, but to be like, I'm getting tagged for $10-15 million this year, I don't know. To complain on a personal level.
Let me ask you this, Ant. Let me ask you this. Okay, you play football. You go into the NFL, right? And you get to play. I think you have to have balance in everything you do. That's one of the things I always say. So you make it, and you proud and you humble because there's a small percentage that make it to where you at when you hit that top level. So you humble by that. But at the same time, your agenda should always be make as much money as you can, especially in a sport like football, because you never know when you're gonna make your last.
Yeah, 100%.
So I understand what you're saying about him saying I only make it 10 mil, but I don't think it's complaining. I don't think what he said it goes to level complaint. Let me say that. I think that him speaking on it, I have a problem with it. Now he continues to speak on it, then I think it goes to a level of complaining. I think in that context, he was just answering questions and making that based on what I make, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not hating on him for saying it, and it should be addressed because again, the running back market's awful. When you have all pro players getting tagged for 10 mil, it's not normal. It's an issue, and I agree with that. But he kind of just brought it off as like a woe is me kind of thing, like that's what I kind of took it at. But yeah, no, it does need to be talked about. Again, like Dalvin Cook, he just got released.
He
didn't even get traded. He got released.
Dalvin
Cook is elite. You know what I'm saying? Like
4 straight 1K seasons.
That's what I'm saying. Like it is ridiculous right now. The market, it's awful, and I guarantee you it'll fluctuate back to a level of normalcy after the next couple of years, especially with the cap. Doesn't it go up soon?
Yeah, it goes up. I think it's next year, isn't it?
Yeah, after next year. So we'll see what happens.
So let me ask you this though: do you think it ever go back to normal? Because the way it seems like the running back position is morphing too. And now you go into this multi-back kind of situation. Would it ever go back to normal?
I don't think it ever.
Or what we consider normal?
No, because again, when you were talking about it, those dudes back in the day, there were cases where they're more important than the quarterback.
Right.
Like they were running the ball and maybe passing a couple times a game. And it's not like that no more. You got dudes in a running back playing slot. You got dudes at receiver who come in and play running back. Running back is a position where it's highly replaceable, and it doesn't bring enough value to a team. And right now we have a league where about 10 running backs are like those guys, and maybe 5 are irreplaceable. You know what I'm saying? He's going to Miami. He's gonna run for like 2 touchdowns on your Jets, but like I just think it's it's just not gonna go back to normal because of all the other ways you get guys to football now. It isn't running between the tackles; it's passing the ball. They even got jet passes where you just go like this in front of you and it's a pass. So
right.
The running back position is devalued, and again, there's only about 5 guys in the league that you can say are untouchable. Everybody else don't have their job secured because you can have somebody else come out of college. That's how it is.
Right.
And I think that's what we got to bring into the context of this conversation is because you guys mentioned it's a lot of teams that are running 2 back, 3 back by committee type of situations. And there's only a few teams that have that main running back. But guess what? The Giants are one of those teams. The Giants are very dependent on Saquon Barkley.
They are dependent. That's their whole last year was the whole team.
Rookie season. Played all 16 games.
Okay.
All right. He had 261 rushing attempts, 1,307 rushing yards, 11 TDs. All right. He also had 121 receiving targets.
Okay.
All right. Sophomore year, played 13 games, 217 carries, 1,003 yards, 6 TDs.
Right.
Another 73 receiving targets. All right. Third year, 2020, COVID year, but that's when he has an injury. All right. Only 2 games. All right.
Okay.
2021, played 13 games, 162 carries, 593 yards, 2 TDs.
MJ.
Down year.
Right.
Another 57 receiving targets. All right. This past year, played all 16 games, 295 carries, 1,312 yards. All right. 10 TDs. Another 76 receiving targets. So as I agree with everything y'all saying, but here's my part of what Saquon said that is key is because he said, but when it comes to my situation,
yeah.
And it is totally different. When the team is so much dependent on Saquon Barkley to be a huge piece, their offense, I have no choice but to find a way to compensate him.
And I agree with you on that. Here's what I say though.
That's special. He's that special. I get it. Go in the draft, get a running back. Okay. But I'm saying, why do that when I got a guy that showed, besides 1 year when he had a significant injury,
for
the most part has stayed very durable and produces mid 25, 26. So he's not, if he was 29, 30, I could understand about him not getting paid. But this guy is special.
I'll say this though, Lamar.
He's very deserving of that money.
That justifies you getting a pay raise, but that doesn't justify me making you the top paid.
Hey, regardless, he deserves. If you pay Daniel Jones, who my biggest point here with Daniel Jones is, if you don't have Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones' turnover rate doesn't go down. His durability rate doesn't go up. He was more durable this year because he didn't have to carry the load.
Yeah.
And Saquon, this is, to me, Saquon was the one that carried majority of the load on offense.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I can understand if this was a running back committee type of situation, but this is literally, I need Saquon to make everything else flow. Daniel Jones doesn't flow this past season if Saquon doesn't have this great season.
I don't disagree with you on Nick. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I was talking about Nick's comment. I'll say this though, Lamar. Like I said, I don't disagree with you saying. So yeah, you give him money. So you give him money, but at the same time, I can't give you top money because it's not what we do now. And I think that with Dable there, he can get another running back and make that running back run in that offense just as efficient. I won't say he'd be as good, but he'd be just as efficient. Because all you need is an efficient running back. That's all you need now.
True. True. But you don't have an elite quarterback to just be sufficient at running back. You know, Daniel Jones is
that's a whole other discussion though.
But I'm saying we weren't going crazy. I still think they overpaid for him. But the fact of the matter is, because of his position and the business of it, that he had to get $40 million a year. And my thing is me personally, I'm still like, no, I ain't gotta give you $40 million a year.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta give you nothing.
I don't understand why they ain't.
I can send you a contract and either we gonna agree or we don't. But I ain't gotta.
I be like, man, you take this money and you be driving Uber. For real.
Like for me, this conversation would be a lot easier, and I would be more inclined to be like, "Hey, Saquon, man, take what you can get." If they had an elite quarterback, if they had
over 7 games without Saquon, it depends on their schedule though.
Games winning.
This year, probably not with that schedule they got.
They got a tough schedule this year.
Tougher schedule this year.
Yeah.
And so you got to play a part into that. Do you want to see Daniel Jones be the your number one offensive threat in a tougher schedule? Are you sure you're ready for that?
Nah, I ain't ready for that. Daniel Jones ain't ready for that.
If this wasn't the Giants, I wouldn't have no beef on Saquon not getting paid. Because hell, Austin Eckler, who I think is a phenomenal running back, he had to bitch and moan just to get $2 million more, and they still didn't give him no long-term money.
Right.
I mean, he's a dog too. He's
a dog.
He's one of those guys to where he's like an irreplaceable back.
Yeah. And just like AR just reminded us, Dalvin Cook is a 4-year in a row 1K rusher, and he got released. The Vikings didn't even bother getting value back for him.
Yeah, but you talking about Minnesota? They're an anomaly.
But still, it speaks to the whole running back market as a whole, and how much is down in the trash. And I will forever owe Le'Veon Bell an apology, because he saw it coming when he wanted money for being a number 2 receiver and a number 1 rusher on an offense, and he deserved it.
Yeah, but then again, he kind of threw his career away after that. But I mean, I'd say you have to have a balance.
Thank you.
Like what Saquon is doing.
Hold on, AR. That situation was when he was in right sound mind and was an elite player in the NFL.
No, I understand that, but didn't he he did take a year off and not play at all? Did he?
But yeah, because he wanted his true value. He wanted his true value, and the Steelers weren't going to give it to him. And
yeah, I mean, I understand it. I understand it, but I mean, again, I don't remember the situation 100% because again, I was watching sports, but I wasn't like I am with sports now. Again, we're going back how many years now? I was probably like 14 years old. Like
about 5 years ago.
Yeah, like I was like 14. So it's like about the contract and everything like that. But again, you have to be reasonable as well. If he was given, I don't remember, but if he was given a number that is, highest paid running back, because you see this a lot of time with the quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, highest paid quarterback. We had 4 highest paid quarterbacks in the last year and a half. Keep breaking records. So if he was going up too. Yeah, and if he was going like, yeah, you know what, I want to be the highest paid running back in the league or whatever. Again, when it comes to people being replaceable, they have other parts of their team they got to build. There's a lot of people you got to pay on a football team, especially not the NBA.
Fair point.
So if you're dumping that much money to the running back, their numbers aren't going to be as good because, again, like Nick had said, that is Nick's account, right?
Yeah.
Nick had said, the Cowboys offensive line. Emmitt Smith was a great running back, obviously, right? Legendary running back, but that offensive line
was loaded.
If he had a bum offensive line, Emmitt Smith isn't the same statistical category as he is right now because you have
I agree.
people.
No doubt.
I agree.
So again, it's to dump that much money into a running back, and again, like Le'Veon Bell sat out a year, then his career goes downhill. The running back should 100% fight for their money. But again, they have to look at it also as if I'm gonna basically like he did, he went all in for that one contract, and then he's not playing football no more. Like after that couple years of the Jets or whatever, he was done. You know what I'm saying? Like he really didn't play nowhere else. He played on a couple teams, then got cut, whatever. Like if you go in all on this and then you sit out a year and then people don't want to pick you up again, you're throwing away a lot more money than just that one contract where you're getting a couple less million.
You bring up awesome point. Awesome point, AP. I also didn't look at it that aspect of the financial restraint that you're going to put your team possibly in when you got so many holes. Good point. Here's a rebuttal for my thing when it comes to Saquon wanting his money.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the injury concern with the running backs.
Right.
Saquon already had a serious injury a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Tua's situation. Man, go get your bread. Go get your bread.
Oh yeah, Tua need to get hit because he might not be playing too much longer.
Well, see, but that's what I'm saying. You don't know when it's going to be your last snap. It's going to be, hey, get your bread.
Mm-hmm.
Get your bread. And so I actually wouldn't have no issue if he said,
a good question. I'm not sure about the AP. I have to look into that.
Are you not signing? But I don't know. That's a good question. And yeah, because Daniel Jones just got paid. I mean, 4 years, what is it, 160 million? Something like that.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money for him. Hey, look, it's a sticky situation, but me personally, hey, I hope it works out for Saquon because get your bread. You especially in football, I'ma always say players go get your bread that you think you deserve.
And I preface my statement with that, before I say anything.
Yeah.
You always get your bread first because in this sport particular.
Yeah, in this particular sport. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can come out there one game, get hit, and that be it.
Mm-hmm.
One play, that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, you get your bread because it's a violent sport.
Yeah.
And I say this again. I think when you play football, you should go into this thing like an investment. I'm gonna play 6 to 8 years and I'm gonna get out.
Well, you have to because the NFL.
So I won't be looking like some of the old time players on crutches and can't walk upstairs. And he like better tell his story, man.
Yeah. Hey, to your point, man.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, you have to play at least, I think, 4 to 5 years in the NFL to be vested to even get that medical coverage past your NFL career.
See, 6. That's what I said. 6 to 8 years. You vested. You play long enough where people know who you are, and you play long enough to
make
get enough money to get some money. And as soon as I hit the league, bro, I'm advocating for me trying to get in the broadcast booth or what's my next career, wherever, something like that, where this money keep flowing.
Start a brand, something, do something.
Start a brand or something. Especially now, it ain't like years ago, like when Marino and all them played. They ain't have social media.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can get in the league, people know who you are, start you a couple accounts.
Hey, stupid man.
You got Obamacare.
Yeah, I'm glad we had the end of the show because AP violated today. This motherfucker, he's on some other shit.
Yeah, especially running backs, their careers are on average shorter than everybody else.
True.
Yeah. Hey man, great show, man. We gonna shut down the shop, man. Always a big pleasure to have AR here with us. Sorry, Nick, man, we might have found your replacement, man. You guys, surgeries.
Speaking of paying broke down players.
I didn't say it, Nick. I didn't say it. Hey, AR, man, drop your socials and to all your content where the people can find you at, besides here every Monday with us, at least for right now, until he has to go to summer camp for football. So go ahead and drop all your socials, man. Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, YouTube and TikTok is PR3Z Sports. Then over at Instagram, I'm Anthony R 3204. Yeah, over there. But yeah, when football comes around, man, I'm not gonna be able to be on these things. So I got the last couple months here before I go into full football mode again. So you won't be seeing me for a little while after that.
It's all
good. It's all good. Hey, do us a favor. Whoever your social media people is over there in Montclair, tell them to send some of your footage so we can
we can
big you up on I.O.W. Sports, man, because we definitely love your presence that you bring.
Mm-hmm.
You bring some good knowledge and points. And so we gonna
better than Nick. I'm matter of fact, I'm gonna start calling you better than Nick. That's your new name.
That's your new name. Hey, better than Nick, what you think about this?
Yeah, no, I'll get clips. I'll send them over to you guys.
Okay.
Because they send us stuff. I'll make sure I get some good highlights for you guys this year.
Nice. Appreciate it. And then of course, you want to top it up with me personally, Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar, Facebook and Instagram. You can always catch Detroit Mail dropping new episodes of the No Name Podcast for all you Detroit Lions fans.
Shout out to sibling rivalry too.
Yeah, sibling rivalry with him and his sister Tiff. Shout out to Tiff. That's our honorary. Well, I don't even say honorary no more. She used to be honorary. Now she says I.O.W. So, shout out to her. What's up, Vin? How you doing out there? Always show some love to him. Hey, man, y'all know what it is. Hey, you see MJ in the comments. Make sure y'all tap in tonight with me and him, Jersey Boy MJ, with another episode of the Late Night Owl Edition. Hey, shout out to the big homie Nick Shine, man. Well wishes. Recovery. Make sure you tap in on his Proud New York Jets YouTube page. And most importantly, man, just keep showing us love and support. I.O.W. Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, the YouTube channel where all the content is at. We love and appreciate every view, every minute y'all watch, every share. But hey, keep it up. Y'all want to see us blow up? Keep supporting us. And until then, Wildcard Mar, AR, Detroit Mail, we out. We'll see y'all Thursday.